Good day, ladies and gentlemen. I certainly hope you're having a fine day, life's treating you okay, and all this other fun stuff. Okay, I've got a video here on firearms, which basically, in this day and age, with all the school shootings and every other doggone thing, I realize is not probably a very popular subject, and I'm referring to what happened in Parkland, Florida, and I believe the last school shooting was in Maryland. You're going to have to forgive me, because I don't watch mainstream news, but of course, naturally, bad things like that, a guy like me hears about it. And these kind of crimes that go on, these school shootings, there's no way that I'm trying to minimize any of this stuff. It's horrid, it's terrible, it's evil, it's wrong. But I can guarantee you one thing, ladies and gentlemen, taking firearms, especially away from a guy like me that's a Vietnam veteran, 66 years old, raised a family, and been a hunter and a fisherman all my life, taking away my firearms isn't going to solve this problem. Because you start taking away from people's firearms here in America, and guess what? Only the bad guys and the cops are going to have them. You like that thought? You know, the problem is a lot of people need to be educated. That's the main point of this video on firearms. Personally, I don't believe that anybody under the age of 21 should be able to buy a firearm. I think that everybody really should be put through, kind of like they do on hunter safety courses, but you know, some kind of very extensive program to teach them about the safety of firearms, what firearms can do, how to operate them, you know, the different various parts, etc., etc. Okay, I'm going to do a little question and answer thing here to reiterate or to fortify what I'm trying to say. Okay, you take like right here. Notice my hand isn't anywhere near this trigger. This is a Glock 20. Can anybody tell me what a Glock 20 is? What caliber is this? Right off the get-go, 7 people out of 10 that are watching this video probably can't tell me. It's a 10 millimeter auto. Only the word, it's not really an auto, it's a semi-auto loader. Okay, what's 10 millimeter in caliber? You don't know, do ya? It's 40 caliber. This is, as a matter of fact, this is the largest, most powerful hand pistol sidearm. There's no such, I'm an old military guy, there's no such a thing as a gun, but it's the most powerful sidearm that Gaston Glock makes, okay? Now here's something I don't mean to be waving this pistol in your face, but I see this all the time. I see it in video games. I don't play that many video games, but I've seen it in movies, I've seen it on YouTube here, I've seen it everywhere. You see these idiots, and notice my fingers outside that trigger housing there, you know. But if you ever see these street hoodlums, these gangster wannabe clowns holding a firearm, a pistol like this, a sidearm, they don't know what the hell they're doing. Or like this. You cannot aim a pistol, a sidearm like this, that way. The proper way is to have your hand underneath this firearm like this and right down the line of sight. Not like this, and not like this, and all this other crazy crap. Whenever, like I say, whenever I see some goofball doing stuff like that, I automatically know that they don't know jack and shit about firearms. It's as simple as that. Now let me continue on here. You take like this firearm that I've got right here. Is this a sporting rifle or is this an assault rifle? Come on, real quick now, give me an answer. I'm going to repeat the question. Is this a sporting rifle or is this an assault rifle? Here again, I'll bet you 6, 7, 8 out of 10 of you are going to say it's an assault rifle. You couldn't be any more wrong. This is a Ruger Gunsight Scout. Bolt action, as a matter of fact. Right here. I had that turned around the wrong way. You have to cycle this bolt every time you want to jack around in there. You got that? And this has nothing to do with blam, 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 or any of that other stuff. it just looks, like an assault rifle. And the reason why I've got YouTube videos on this very rifle right here. The reason why I own it is because I wanted a brush rifle, a smaller, more compact rifle, because I live up here in Montana and I'm a hunter. And I don't care if you like hunting or you don't like hunting. No, it has no effect on my life whatsoever. If you don't like meat, then stop eating at McDonald's. Stop running down to Albertsons or Safeway and buying their 16-ounce New York cuts or whatever have you. You follow where I'm going with this? All right, but anyway, to further impress you with what I'm trying to say here, let's do a little test. Okay, right off the get-go, you have to pardon me. What's this piece of this rifle called right here? From the top of my finger to my thumb right here. What's this called? It's called a muzzle brake. Now I put this piece. It's a Smith. It's an SEI, a Smith Enterprise Incorporated muzzle brake. And what it does is when I first got this rifle, I took a stock flash compressor off. I did the work myself and installed this because this rifle had a lot of what they call muzzle flip. Okay? Right here. What's this little chunk of metal right there called? What's this little piece of metal right there? It's called a front post or a front sight. For you that have guessed wrong. Okay. What else can I do here? Right back here. You see right underneath this telescopic sight right here? What's that called? That is called a peep sight, an iron peep sight. And I've got this rifle situated so that if something goes wrong with this telescopic sight, and this is a 1.25 power by 4 power Leopold red dot hog scope. This thing was a very expensive scope. I paid way over $500 for this thing. And I bought it for, like I say, brush hunting and stuff like that. But this, okay, let me ask you this. This piece of metal right in here that you see clamped onto this scope, what's that called? That's called a set of, it's a Burris one-piece scope mount is what it is. What are these caps right here called that are on top of this scope? Those are called scope rings. But I've got this set up so I can look right through this set of peep sights right here, and you can actually look right through this one-piece mount right here that's mounted on top of this tack rail, and you can see that front post. Okay, that's in case something happens to this scope, because it does have a red dot and it does require a battery that goes in there, but that's neither here nor there. Okay, to further my questionnaire here, if you will, what part, this front this is laminated wood right up here, what's this called? Can anybody tell me? It's called a forearm. It's part of the stock itself. It's just like this right here. This is called the stock. Okay, can anybody tell me what this part of the rifle is right there? This big chunk of rubber right here. This is called the recoil pad. Okay, this little piece of metal right here, right there, that you see me messing around with, that little lever right there, what's that called? That's called the safety. If it's all the way back like that, there's no way you can pull that trigger. If it's in the half-cocked position like that, what it'll allow you to do is cycle rounds in and out of there, but the firing pin will not engage. Okay, and then it has to be fully forward like that in order for this to go off. That Glock 20 that I just got done showing you there, that sidearm, it doesn't have a safety. Glocks, the way they're engineered, they don't need a safety. Okay, this part of the firearm right here, what is this called? Like I say, I'm betting you a dime to a dollar, 6, 8, 10 of you, or 90 out of 10 probably don't know. Some of you do know. I'm not trying to insult your intelligence. This is the bolt. This has got a spring-loaded mechanism inside of here, along with a firing pin, and that's what the firing pin is what hits the cartridge primer, and that's what ignites the gunpowder in the cartridge, and that's what causes the bullet to go flying down the barrel. But all of this stuff doesn't happen all by itself. It takes human interaction. It's just like this, ladies and gentlemen. This firearm, this rifle right here, this Ruger Gunsight Scout, is nothing more than a tool. It's nothing more than a tool. You take like a chainsaw. Now, how dangerous do you think a chainsaw is? I've cut a lot of firewood in my day, and I guarantee you that a chainsaw is very dangerous. You can either use a chainsaw to go trim up the trees in your yard, go cut your winter firewood or whatever have you, or you could use it to cut your friggin' leg off. And that's the same way it is with these firearms. You gotta know what they do. You gotta be educated on the use. You gotta be educated on safety and all that. But for a guy like me to have to suffer because of the sins and the crimes of a few lunatics running around is redonkulous. The government of the United States of America can have my firearms, but they're going to have to come and get them. Do you understand me? I have not given up my firearms because of a few nuts running around. Actually, just to tell you the truth of the matter, we got more than a few nuts running around, but, you know, let me see if I can get this bolt back in here again. Anyway, this rifle, that piece of metal I was just waving at you right there, is useless without that bolt. What's this called right here? This right here is called a magazine or a clip. You know, this is a 10-round clip. I've got a couple of 5-round clips for this, and Ruger even makes 3-round clips. Has nothing to do with blam, 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 blam. This, like I say, this is bolt action. Okay. This little question and answer period here probably didn't go over too good with some of you, but I'm trying to drive a point home here. It's just like this area of the firearm right here. What's this? It's called a trigger guard. What's this thing? This is a little hook piece of metal right there. That's your trigger. Without this safety being in fully off or in the fire position, this old Mauser action here ain't going to do nothing, I guarantee you. Okay, but I think, hopefully I drove my point home here. The answer is not, I'm not giving up my rights or privilege or whatever you want, whatever lawyer nonsense talk you want to say. I'm not giving up my rights to own and bear and keep a firearm because of some crimes of a few lunatics running around. Well, like I say, there's actually a lot of lunatics running around. But I know the liberal mindset has been after our firearms forever. And by the way, while I'm on the subject, I'm neither a Republican, I'm neither a Democrat, I'm an independent thinker. As a matter of fact, I don't even like politicians. As a matter of fact, I don't even like the government because they like to control, regulate, steal your money, and put it to bad use. That's all the government knows how to do. So, my answer to this business with firearm control or whatever have you is through education. Plain and simple. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, have a nice day, because that's really all I've got to say. Take care of yourselves. I hope I didn't offend anybody. See you on down the trail.